Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now November 8th of 2025, and given that there is a large shift happening right now within Hollywood, there are a lot of changes happening, either for better or worse in different areas. We know that some celebrities are calling out other celebrities based on what happened to Charlie Kirk on September 10th after his assassination, and of course the whole No Kings protest that took place in October of this year, and most recently we know that there's a lot of pushback going on against Hollywood. A lot of those within the general public, common moviegoers out there, are just absolutely refusing to support a lot of films and sticking to streaming or other forms of entertainment after they were being lectured time and time again, over and over again, by Hollywood celebrities. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support. So, Tom Cruise, we know that Tom Cruise is really just trying to stick to his A game here, to really just put out entertaining material, whether it's a massive box office success of a film, or if it's something, more related to an experimental film. He's also doing some experimental projects with Paramount as well, that are currently untitled. What's interesting here, though, has a lot more to do with his plans for Top Gun 3, the future of Mission Impossible spin-off films, and more via Paramount, and what he recently did toward Hollywood celebrities that either mocked Charlie Kirk, politicized his assassination, or even, of course, made very inflammatory comments about President Trump and the entire administration. So one thing about Tom Cruise, and we talked about this some weeks ago, is that he is going against a lot of other celebrities out there that are getting way too political. He's trying to actually steer the ship to really bring Hollywood back to the way it used to be, where it wasn't so politically driven, where it wasn't really all about shoehorning in political propaganda into their films. And look, we know that Tom Cruise never does that with his movies, especially in recent years. Never does he do that with Paramount, for sure. What's interesting here, though, has a lot more to do with the fact of what was actually going to happen and what he's now doing against them. Now, specifically with Hollywood dealing with extensive backlash ever since several celebrities politicized Charlie Kirk's assassination, one major development going on now involves more to do with Tom Cruise and what he is doing against celebrities that have gone way too political and those that even mocked Charlie Kirk and politicized his death. Now, a crucial update to what's going on right now over at Paramount is that Tom recently already held a very important internal meeting with Paramount executives and its CEO about the future with Top Gun 3, Mission Impossible spin-off projects, and brand new titles that Cruise is working on just as an actor, but also as a producer. After Tom Cruise decided to fire Jane Fonda from Top Gun 3, as we previously discussed after her Charlie Kirk and Trump comments, Cruise already aggressively demanded Paramount executives to help him weed out any actors or actresses that have made terrible comments about the current administration, but more importantly, not just about President Trump, but most importantly about those that mocked Charlie Kirk. And it turns out that with Tom Cruise acting as a producer for Top Gun 3, as well as the star, he does have nearly full creative power over the project and pushed Paramount to actually refuse to work with anyone that has inflammatory political statements from their past. Tom Cruise even reportedly informed Paramount executives that he was unwilling to work with certain A-list stars that were brought up to him by Paramount execs that turned out to also make offensive statements about Charlie Kirk and President Trump, and Tom Cruise is now pushing for a complete transformation with the casting process by looking for fresh new faces instead. Beforehand, Cruise had a long list of A-listers that were familiar faces that have now been kicked off Top Gun 3 as well. Those stars included Jane Fonda and among others that will likely surface very soon. To actually make matters worse for all of this is that many Hollywood stars right now is that it was their dream to become a part of Top Gun 3. However, after the actual actions that were placed by Tom Cruise for Top Gun, those opportunities are now scrubbed. To this day, Jane Fonda is still trying to get her role in Top Gun 3 reinstated by threatening legal action against Paramount executives. And get this, Tom Cruise already informed Paramount to actually to step up their legal stance if it ever comes to that point, because he absolutely never wants to work with her after her outlandish political statements about Trump and Charlie Kirk. Now, Top Gun 3's casting process is planned to stretch out until the end of this year. In addition to that, shockingly, Bruce Springsteen Alright, we all know how inflammatory he can be, but Bruce Springsteen was supposed to actually record a new song specifically for Top Gun 3 that was going to be a recording or a re-recording of one of his hit songs for the actual newest Top Gun film. Tom Cruise unexpectedly forced Paramount executives to push him to the wayside after his toxic comments not just on social media took place, but also during his concerts over the past few months about President Trump and the administration. Now guys, before I move on, let me just say one thing about this. Now, sure, if you look at a lot of these Hollywood celebrities, whether they're in the film industry or the music industry, doesn't matter, they're all typically the same. They all parrot each other, they all have the same talking points, and that's exactly why people are simultaneously tuning out from those very actors, actresses, directors, writers, producers, singers, performers, whatever it may be, comedians even. They are all getting phased out by the people because they don't want to hear it, and that's exactly why Tom Cruise said no to Bruce Springsteen for Top Gun 3. Now, it really makes me wonder exactly which song was going to be a re-recording for Top Gun 3. It really makes you wonder, right? I would believe it would maybe be Born in the USA. We'll have to wait and see, but he's out. He's no longer working on that film. Bruce Springsteen is not going to be doing a re-recording of his song. And you know what? I think that Top Gun 3 really does have a lot of potential as long as they stay, like I said before, on their A game by phasing out a lot of these Hollywood celebrities that have said such crazy things about Charlie Kirk and President Trump within the past, several months now, and in recent months, especially since Charlie Kirk's passing. One thing about Tom Cruise, though, is that he wants this to be the biggest success yet, and as a way to close off the Top Gun trilogy, essentially. Now, Tom Cruise wants zero chance of this film failing due to an agenda by celebrities. The plan as of now is to get this movie out by either 2029 or 2030. Now, it's a bit of a ways off, let's be very real about this. This thing isn't even going to get filmed in 2026. They're looking to actually begin filming this thing in 2027, and then they got to do post-production and all that, the marketing. So 2029 sounds more realistic. 2030 seems like it might be a little late for that. A little bit way too far out, to be honest. But we know that there's a lot of things going on with Paramount right now. They really are, sticking to a lot of stars, right? Sylvester Stallone doing amazing things with Tulsa King. Tom Cruise doing amazing things with Top Gun 3 now. And potential, Mission Impossible spin-off films that they're really trying to work out right now. Where Ethan Hunt is, more of a character in the background with new faces coming in. And then on top of that, they're doing experimental projects, either produced by Tom Cruise or, led by Tom Cruise as an actor, whatever it may be. They are trying to go all out with Tom, Sylvester Stallone, and among others. So, I would like to hear what everyone has to say about Tom Cruise and his actions against Hollywood celebrities, especially celebrities that have said such terrible things about Donald Trump, about Charlie Kirk, and even his wife Erika Kirk, and it just keeps, turning to the point where you're seeing this slow turn of the tide within Hollywood, especially within Paramount. But overall, I would like to hear what you all have to say about this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.